if we spent a lot of money next week on some highly expensive and extremely profound approach to the group's name, people inside the company wouldn't understand what the hell we were doing, given that we had all of these other very important priorities to attend to in terms of the fundamentals of Rover. So that has to be a part of the conversation as well.
Well, that's really the end of my presentation.
Well, thank you for that. It certainly was multimedia.
Hopefully not multi-logic.
Rover is worried that stunning isn't British enough, so without telling Stuart, they ask another team from the same agency to come up with an alternative. Responsible for the "Have a Break, Have a Kit Kat" slogan, the new team has come to scour the 200 for signs of traditional Roverness.
Leatherfit's terrific.
Here you go, lots of room in the bag.
Yeah, that's good. Well, it does go on forever, hasn't it?
The kind of very traditional Rover badge, but in a kind of rather odd setting. Okay.
Billy Mawhinney is art director.
Sound great hit.
Nick Welsh writes the script.
Is that a standard grill, or will that be...
As soon as you open the door out, you've got a running board that says Rover. You've got a badge solidly in the middle. I love it. I mean, this little thing in the door out, it just feels so British, really. Little graphics. Kind of Conran or Habitat or something, really, you know.
Well, I can understand why they're looking for new people to buy it, because it doesn't quite look like a Rover, but I suspect it might feel like one.
Rover's marketing director, Rod Ramsey, brought in the new team. Will he be any more impressed with their ideas?
At last, a Rover for me is what we're trying to get. Now, but done in terms which are recognisably Rover, rather than by moving the whole goalpost, which is another way of doing it, which is to say, hey, this is a completely different thing. In this instance, we're saying, no, this is actually, there are Rover values in this, but actually we hope it's presented in a way which hits that kind of younger target, slap bang, dead centre. The jungle Billy referred to is New York. It's a kind of archetype for bad urban driving. He's an Englishman abroad, briefcase, maybe jacket over the shoulder, walking into one of those a parking garage in Manhattan. Yeah. And at this point, we probably bring in some music. But the idea is to show the Rover, this new, slightly unlikely looking Rover, displaying Rover virtues in a terrifyingly unpleasant environment. And this is where it gets even more unexpected, because we open up and we're looking at serious loft space, vast, huge, so the car pulls to a halt by the kitchen unit. You're thinking, that's all. At which point, American girlfriend hands through the window a mug of tea and a biscuit. And it should be an English biscuit. I don't know whether it's a digestive, a gypsy cream. You can have whatever you like. I don't know, whatever your favourite is. Rich
Start making your own
rich tea.
Yes.
She hands them through into the window. She's looking at him and going, I don't know, he's odd. And then he really kills it for her, because he dunks the biscuit in the tea. And he nods, thank you, and remains in the car. Right. And as we pull out, we have a voiceover which we hope sums up our proposition, which is being comfortable doesn't mean being conventional. The new Rover 200, above all, it's a Rover.
I would respond to this one much more warmly than I would to Stunning, which always had, to me, just an essence of potential gimmickry in it that was not quite Rover. I think we should develop this proposal as the idea. And actually we should assume that what's on the shelf stays on the shelf, which is Stunning, which is just stays the resolution.
With the new idea getting the go-ahead, Stuart's Stunning campaign is scrapped. Shortly afterwards, Stuart parts company with his agency and with Rover. On his farm near Northampton, he has time to reflect on events.
Loads of expressions of affection for me, and sorry to see you go, Rod Ramsey said. Thanks for all your support and tremendous contribution. Never forget, above all, it's a Kendall. That was Rod. Bless him. Au revoir, somebody else said, the immortal line, trust me sums you up, and you always delivered. I never let him down. I never let him down. The strategists wanted something unroverish. Stu, your craftsman adds your Britishness, your traditional, all very fine, all very, yes, British and comfortable and nice and quiet and inwardly directed, but we want something far more potent for the Rover 200 launch. So don't worry about Roverness, don't worry about those traditional values, don't worry about the comfort and the elegance, and we're looking for Vauxhall Astra drivers to buy into Rover at this level, we're looking for Ford Escort drivers to buy into Rover. So throw all that baggage away, do something different, if you like. So the Stunning campaign was not born of Roverness, so there was hypocrisy there. But if that's what the strategists tell me to do, then here you are, this is how I do it.
Over 3,000 miles away in New York, the new Englishman abroad idea goes into production.
Here in the city and across Long Island, that cold rain may mix with sleet or wet snow before it tapers off as well. 5-day outlook Thursday, fair but cold, but then milder by Friday with
cold rain.
So keep fingers crossed, hope for the best. I mean, I think we have a weather day. It's always better if you don't have to use it.
Okay, no deal. Check the gate. You're inside, behind the car comes out.
You know, you think, oh, well, that's just a nice little few words on a piece of paper, and then almost the next minute you suddenly realise half of the West Village has been closed down. There are hundreds of trucks everywhere, and you're tempted to go, I didn't mean it. It was just an idea, you know, I didn't... but here we all are.
Do you want to go out?
If it works, this commercial is all about that point of identification with this young man who's in New York. Here's the story. Yes, he drives home. He's an Englishman in New York. He likes his comforts, and he will go to quite unreasonable lengths to keep them.
Beautiful car. You kind of sold me on it, actually. I've only been here for a couple of minutes.
Well, it's English with a twist. Well, I'm not convinced by the tie, but I think it's kind of the suit. I mean, the suit is kind of trad, but slightly different. The combination of the red shirt is just kind of different.
A couple of watermarks up here.
This was the shirt. We need to have a little bit, maybe like a sweater underneath here, because it's...
Stick your chest out, dear.
120 actors auditioned, plus 40 shirts, 60 ties, and 4 Paul Smith suits.
When it got into 6 days?
If it were the same both days, then you've at least got 2 days shooting. But if it's actually snowing, we can't shoot.
I'm filming the snow to show to the weather insurer people to show that due to bad conditions and somewhat lack of continuity, we probably couldn't be shooting at this moment in time.
Ready, run, same rod. Running. And start camera. And action, Kevin. Freeze it there.
It's the funny thing about kind of propping, really. It's, you know, all the little bits should build up, kettle or the teapot.
It is unfortunately not a Proctor Silex blender, the blender with the brain, but it'll do.
So it's higher.
He's not the sort of chap that has his handmade shoes sent over from Lob or Fortnum and Mason hamper. What he is a person set in his ways, and those ways could well include PG tips.
And a carefully chosen digestive biscuit.
It's a classless biscuit, I think. It doesn't have any problems attached to it.
Okay, action.
Got it slow. Okay, quick.
That's getting better. Great. Oh, this is good. Great. Delight. Big with the eyes.
Just what
Nick
I've
and
always
Billy have
wanted.
cracked it
Nick
again.
and Billy have cracked it again. It's a marvellous car, that. I'll have one, have two sent round.
If my
That's
mother
what we
wanted a
had.
car, she'd have this one.
I can't drive, but I'd love one, just the same.
Whatever's going on outside, you'll always feel really good inside.
Total production cost £750,000. £250,000 more than the new BMW commercial.
If BMW advertising is thought to be better than Rover, it's because BMW is a clear-cut brand. It knows it stands for one thing, it stands for driving. It knows it stands for a certain set of high-tech values. Those are very clear. When you've got that clear background, it's much easier to do communication. When you've got a fuzzy, blurry brand, it's much harder to do tightly focused communication.
This is Robin White's latest advertising solution for BMW, and he thinks he's got the answer for Rover too.